I want to put the money that we raise from this site, because I'm really hoping that we do raise some money from this site. I want to put the money that we get towards paying our actors, our designers, our director, our technicians, because right now they're doing this for the same reason that we're doing this, which is love of theater, wanting to perform, wanting to be a part of this collaborative experience. And I would love to be able to pay them enough that they can like pay their rent for the month and stuff. But I would be content being able to give them enough money that they can cover the gas expense that they use driving to and from rehearsal. I would also love to give money. I'd also love to use any money that we get towards printing posters. I would love to use any money that we get from the site towards posters. I'm designing them and I think they look fantastic. And I want people to walk down the street and be like, hey, that's a cool poster. I wonder what it's for. And, you know, if people only ever see them on our Facebook account or on our website, that's fine. But I think it's really important to print posters. I think that's a big part of theater, is having something eye-catching, some image from your show that draws people in, makes them say, huh, I wonder what the show is. I want to go see it. So I would love to be able to print posters to put up around town. I think that you, viewer, should give us money because we're young, because we are a theater company that's just starting out. We are people who are just starting out in our theater careers, and if we can get every little bit to help now, if we can get a good foundation for our second season and hopefully have some money left over at the end that then we could put towards season 3, if we get off to a good start, then our company has potential to continue to reach just out of college people, you know, looking for us as a stepping stone into the real world of professional theater. And also because we as young theater practitioners, we're just getting started too, and we have a pretty good foundation and we've worked for other companies, but if we, you know, I think it's that thing that happens to all artists where if you get your heart broken when you're just getting started out, if somebody says to you, you're not gonna make it, you're no good, or you just can't raise the funds, you can't get people in the seats. If you get your heart broken like that at the beginning, it's hard to get back into it. And I don't want that to happen to us, because while I think that we're strong and we can push through, it might get to the point where we realize it's easier just to let the company die and go do something else. And I think Devil's Thumb is a really great thing to exist. And I don't want that to get lost because we can't get the funds to rent a space for our shows. So any little bit that you could give us, we would really appreciate it. The closing night of Jack and Jill, we sold out our house. I mean, it was fantastic. It was beyond anything that we could have hoped for. The energy in the cast that night was just phenomenal. We were so very excited. And yet it was devastating because so many friends and family members and friends of there were so many people who didn't get to see the show because a lot of the people who came to support us are people who don't normally come to theater. They don't know the protocol, you know, showing up early, buying your tickets in advance. And we just couldn't let everybody in to see the show who wanted to see it, who we wanted to see it. And so you had this hand in hand, this is fantastic and amazing, and I had no idea this was going to happen to us. And in the other hand, you've got, you know, my uncle didn't get to see the show, my mom's best friend didn't get to see the show, you know, whatever it was, and you know, it was this amazing, phenomenal, devastating, emotional night, and closing the show that night and realizing, that's it guys, we did it, that was our show. and there are people who didn't get to see it, but they loved it, those who did. That moment during Jack and Jill was just so worth it. It was an amazing experience, good and bad. I thought the show that I was looking forward to most in this coming season was going to be Dog Sees God. It's the last show that we're doing. Nick and Laura are living in Chicago right now. They're going to come back to Boulder. They're going to be in it. Alex is going to direct. I'm going to stage manage. We're still the producing company, so we're going to produce it. And there are going to be other people involved in the design and in the actors, but it was going to be the core four together again. And I am really excited about that. But I think, honestly, the show that I'm most psyched about for this season, that I just can't wait to get here, is An Adult Evening with Shel Silverstein. Because we're doing something completely mad, completely, totally crazy. We're doing a show on Valentine's Day. Now that's not weird. Valentine's Day is a Monday this year. That's weird. Nobody does theater on Mondays. You just don't. It's known. There is no theater on Mondays. It's our day off. But we're gonna do this. We're gonna do a show on Monday, and we're just, we have this exciting marketing plan in place for it. And I think that it's gonna go over really fantastically well. I mean, what else are you gonna do on a Valentine's Day that's a Monday? Dinner and a show. So I'm really psyched to see what happens when we do this, just from a standpoint of somebody who's producing a show. What happens when we take a really strange gamble? I hope that Devil's Thumb Productions continues. I don't know if it's going to be the four of us managing this company. I don't know if it's going to be some of the four of us. I don't know if we're gonna pass it off to somebody else completely and move on to other things. But I want Devil's Thumb to continue, even if I'm not involved in it, because I think that we're providing an important place in theater. There's college theater, and there's professional theater, and there's, a realm in professional theater. There's Broadway productions, and then there's little community theater productions. And I think we live somewhere as a stepping stone towards professional theater for people who want to know what it's like to work for a professional company and don't necessarily have that much experience and don't necessarily know what to expect. I think that we provide those expectations because we are very professional the way that we run our rehearsals. We try and run them like the Actors Equity Association requires you to run a rehearsal, even though we are nowhere near being a member of Actors Equity, nor have any actors in our shows that are members of Actors Equity. We try and be as professional as possible. And I think that that's a really important place to be, someplace that is a professional company that runs by all the rules, but that doesn't expect you to know all those rules. That you, as somebody coming out of college and doing a show with our company, you get an idea pretty quickly of, okay, this is what I need to do. I do need to be early for rehearsals. On time doesn't cut it because you're not really on time then, are you? And I think that this is something that's really important that a lot of other places don't give you, because normally by the time you get to a company that runs itself as professionally, they expect you to have a certain amount of professionalism. And if you screw up, that might be the end of your career. They may say, oh, I'm never working with that person again, and pass that information along. Don't work with so-and-so. They were really unprofessional. We say, hey, do you mind coming to talk to me for just a minute? We have this expectation. It's a pretty common expectation. We just wanted to make you aware of it so that you can fulfill it. And shape people. Give them the information that they didn't necessarily get from college about what the professional theater world is like. Because we have, amongst the four of us, quite a bit of experience with several different companies doing theater professionally. And now we're just bringing it back. And because we're young, we can still relate to people who are in college or just getting out of it, because that's where we are, just getting out. So I hope that Devil's Thumb continues to be this company, because I think that we're really filling a niche here, and I think that it's an important one to fill.